الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. تفسير السعدي بعبد الرحمن بن ناصر السعدي رحمه الله. سورة الأعلى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى. Glorify the name of your Lord the Most High. الذي خلق فسوى, who created and fashioned in due proportion. والذي قدر فهدى, and who made all things according to a measure, then guided them as how to function and yield the benefits for which they were created. الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى. نعم. والذي أخرج المرعى, and who brings forth the pasturage. أي نعم. الذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى, then makes it wither after it was slashed and green. نعم. أيوة. سنقرأك فلا تنسى, we will teach you the Quran so you will not forget. إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى, except what Allah wills, for indeed He knows what is openly known and what is hidden. وينصرك لليسرى, and we will guide you to the easy path. فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى, so remind people if the remainder will be of benefit. سيذكر من يخشى, the one who fears Allah will pay heed. ويتجنب الأشقى, while the rich one will avoid it. الذي يصلى النار الكبرى, the one who will enter the great fire. ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا, in which will neither die nor live. قد أفلح من تزكى, he will indeed attain true success who purifies himself. وذكر اسم ربه فصلى, أي نعم, and reflect upon the sublimeness of his Lord, so he prays. بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا, and even though the hereafter, but you, O humankind, prefer the life of this world. والآخرة خير وأبقى, even though the hereafter is better and more lasting. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى, verily this was in the earlier scriptures, صحف إبراهيم وموسى, in the scriptures of Ibrahim and Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enjoys us to glorify Him, which includes remembering Him, worshipping, humbling oneself before His mercy and His majesty, and submitting to His greatness. That glorification should be befitting to the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by mentioning His names that are more sublime than any other names because of their beautiful and great meanings. And He mentioned His actions, and among which is the fact that He created and fashioned all creatures. That is, He perfected them and made them well, and who made all things according to a measure, then guided them. This is a general guidance, which means that He guides all creatures to attain that which is their best that which is in their best interest. He also mentions worldly blessings. Hence He says, and who brings forth the pasturage, that is, He sends down water from the sky, which cause all kinds of plants and herbs to grow. Then people, livestock and all kinds of animals eat from it. Then after this vegetation reaches maturity, it begins to decline. Then He makes it to wither after it has slashed and green. That is, He causes it to turn black, shrivel up and become dry. And He mentions his religious blessings, including the foremost blessing that Allah has bestowed, namely the Quran. We will teach you the Quran so you will not forget. That is, we will cause you to remember what we have revealed to you of the book, and we will cause you to remember it by heart, so that you will not forget anything of it. This is great glad tidings from Allah to His slave and Messenger Muhammad ﷺ, that Allah will teach him knowledge and not cause him to forget it, except what Allah wills, as directed by His wisdom, causing him to forget it for an ultimate purpose. For indeed he knows what is openly known and what is hidden, and therefore he knows what is good for his slaves, and for that reason he prescribes whatever he wills and judges as he wills. And we will guide you to the easy path. This is also great glad tidings that Allah will guide his messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to the easy option in all affairs, and will make his law and religion easy. So remind people if of the laws and signs of Allah, if the remainder will be of benefit, that is, so long as the remainder will be accepted and the exhortation will be listened to, whether remainder achieves all or some of its purpose. The implication of the verse is that if the remainder will not be of benefit in such a way that will lead to more wickedness or will detract from goodness, then remaining is not enjoined, rather it is prohibited. With regard to the remainder, people fall into two categories: those who benefit and those who do not benefit. As for those who benefit, Allah mentions them in the words, the one who fears Allah will pay heed, or fear of Allah Azza wa Jal and knowledge that He will acquit each person for his deeds will make the person refrain from sin and strive in doing good. As for those who do benefit, He mentions them in the words, while the wretched one will avoid it, the one who will enter the great fire, which is the kind of fire that will reach the right into the hearts, in which he will neither die nor live. That is, he will be subjected to a painful punishment with no respite or relief, so that he will wish for death, but will not be granted to him. This is like the verse in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, death will not be decreed for them, so that they might die, nor will its punishment be elevated for them. He will indeed attain true success who purifies himself. That is, the one who purifies himself and cleans himself of polytheism, wrongdoing, and bad characteristic will attain success and reflect upon the sublime names of his Lord. So he prays. That is, remembrance of Allah becomes second nature to him. So he is motivated to do that which is pleasing to Allah, especially prayer, which is the foremost indicator of faith. That this is the meaning of the verse. But you, O mankind, prefer the life of this world. That is, you give it preference over the hereafter, and you choose its pleasures that are fleeting and mixed with trouble over the hereafter, even though the hereafter is better. The hereafter is better than this world in all respects, and more lasting because it is eternal and pure, whereas this world is a transient realm. So the wise believer does not choose that which is inferior over that which is superior, and he does not choose fleeting pleasure at the expense of the eternal misery. Love of this world and giving it precedence over the hereafter is the root of all sin. Verily this that is mentioned in this surah of sublime commands and interesting stories was in the earlier scriptures, the scriptures of Ibrahim and Musa, who are the noblest of the messengers apart from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These commands are to be found in the teachings of teaching of other prophets, because they lead to their best outcome in both realms, and they serve people's interest in all times and places. This is the end of the commentary of Surah Al-Ala. All praise and thanks are for Allah, and may the praise and peace be of Allah be upon Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions abundantly until the day of judgment.